But it's your time.
First thing I'd like to say, I'm honored to be here. Very honored for my brother Shabazz here. Invited me. He called me, hey, my name is John White. First, I would like to read this thing. I'm a Union Fireball, so I was. I got injured in a mining accident, and I hadn't worked for a long time. But so you can understand what I was, and I want to, I said I could see the phone better. This is about the Sago mining disaster. There's two letters here I want to read. One was wrote by a young lady, and then they have another one behind it. It's my letter. And for you to really understand my letter, what I am, I want to read her letter first. And the title is God Will Give Rest to the Sago Miners. Hearts of the Sago 13 miners. The 13 workers of the Sago mines going to work for another day. They bow their heads and pray. Keep us safe. Give us another day. If something happened, bless our families. Comfort them, hear them pray. Let them know we are home in heaven this very same day. 12 go on, one stays. When they went to sleep and suffered none. They knew when they woke up they would be in the presence of the sun. They went to sleep one by one, and each was received by Jesus, God's Son. The stairs reaching from the mines to heaven above, they were received in perfect love. The hour they had before they went to sleep, they talked how much they loved their families and prayed to God to keep. They had time to pray the prayer of salvation, so no souls would be lost. All would go to heaven, led by Jesus and the fireballs. That's the first letter. Second letter, I wrote. As a Union Fireballs at Federal No. 2 Mine in Monongalia County, I was exposed to or helped to enforce every aspect of underground mining safety except measuring and calibrating electricity. Our fireballs is a mine examiner for safety, and because his decisions could jeopardize the lives of hundreds of men, the law requires him to be a person of good moral character with a true understanding of the logistics of the industry. I learned the practices and schemes of mine safety from the equitable older coal miners, union and company. These men were a very special breed of men and women that seemed to have a certain intuitiveness, pragmatism, and just good old-fashioned common sense to the ways and means of surviving and making a living in such a dangerous environment. One of the first lessons that I've learned was that sometimes you're going to have fires. It's just the nature of the beast of having all this electricity in such a flammable environment. But when you have an explosion, usually someone or something has been neglected or in default. The coal industry, like the government, has a system of checks and balances. And like the government, if the equilibrium of these balances are not maintained in the highest dispensation, any breach could be subsequently catastrophic. The number one check is the miner himself, and that is for him to stand for safety, especially in non-union mines where fear of getting fired for safety issues are more prevalent and pervasive. And second, to those inspectors at the state and federal level who have a history of misrepresentation and nominal enforcement strategies, I say to you that you should start your investigation to why and how those men died in the Sago mine disaster by first going to the mirror. John White. I'd like to say real quick that at Union Fireballs, when I get on the cage, we call it cage, the elevator, go underground. Once I get on that cage, I have no superiors underground. That when it comes to safety, the guy beside me, the shift form usually, we are like, I don't know if you've seen that cartoon, the sheep and the wolf dog, they go out there to work. Hey, Paul, how about? Well, as soon as they get there, they do the job. That's how me and Jim Willis was. He's my shift foreman over here at Federal 2 for many, many years. And underground, we would As soon as we got down and stepped off the elevator, we just took our proper roles. My role was, I had 140 lives that I was responsible for. And most of those years, I was the only African-American on the ship, which at first meant a serious cultural clash. There's very little about the coal industry I do not know. This here is a Bud Light. This is actually, they don't even use these anymore. But when you see these coming up the head, you knew that was somebody with authority. It's either a foreman or a fireball. And everybody went to his things in order, especially if it was me. I would like to first tell how I got the job and why I wanted the job. When I was 10 years old, and I lived in a place called Jackson, this was a very hard, rough coal camp community outside of Fairmont, the outskirts of Fairmont. My neighbor, his name was James Jones, was working on his car to go to work. And we lived up on this top porch. And I don't know why I did this, but I was just messing with him. He was working on his car, and he went in the house, and I snuck down and I ran across the street, and I stole the filler gauge, which I didn't know what it was at that time, off his car. And I went back up, and I hid on my porch. So when he came out, he was looking for it. He knew he had it at his car, he was looking for it. And he picked me, popped my head up. He said, "There you are," and he ran across the street. He snatched me up, took the belt off, and he whooped me in front of my mother and father for about 5-10 minutes. Because things were a little bit different, I know things. So he goes back across the street, finished his car, he goes to work that night, and he worked, and this was December, well, this was December the 19th, November the 19th, November the 20th, the next day on midnight shift, him and 77 other men were killed at Farmington No. 9. The shift that he was working on was the shift that he died on. And it had such an impact on my life, and my fascination for it, because we heated with coal, my fascination with ants, my fascination with this man that had just given me a whooping, and going to work and getting killed, set the stage to me wanting to be a coal miner. Even when I was in college, I just thought about coal mining. So something happened when I was in college, that Federal 2, they had federal funds going there. They were getting ready to cut the funds off because they had hardly any blacks working Federal 2. So they were hiring blacks just on the basis that if you didn't have a car or you didn't have a way to get out there, they would hire you because they knew you probably couldn't work for so long and you quit. They hired me out of college, and when I see my first paycheck, I knew that I was going to be there a while. To me, it was pretty good money compared to what I was used to. But what happened was, here I am on midnight shift, the only African American around guys that had never been around black people. And I don't want to say I was racist. I want to say that I was misinformed by my father about white people. And these guys were misinformed by their parents about black people. And this is where the cultural thing comes in. Because what happened was, I became pretty good fireballs, which means I was a representative of the men, the workers. And all the things they had been taught about black people, they couldn't see it. One guy, he's supposed to be a Christian brother of mine, when I walked by him with my Bud Light. Now, we was all right when I was doing a regular job. When I got this job, there was a problem. His name was Pete. When I walked by him, now my job was to do no labor, is to watch, observe him build these cribs. And he stopped and said, I walked by him, I spoke, he didn't speak. I said, and he said, "John, can I ask you a question after you get mad?" I said, "Yeah, Pete." He said, "All my life I've been taught black people are done." They meant this. He said, "All my life I've been taught you guys are done. But yet here I am doing the labor, and you're walking by me with a Bud Light on." He said, "You know, that really disturbs me." I said, "You know, Pete, you might as well get used to it." You just might as well get used to it. That's the real world. I don't know what you've been taught. Then, we had the Klan out there. They might still be there. I had a guy bring a picture to work. Show me a picture of his mother, his grandmother, in a casket with the Klan outfit on. I don't know if it was to scare me or what it was to do, but there was so much respect that they gave me And yet, they were Klansmen, they were racist, they were. Then I started going to little company picnics. I'll be the only black there. And I got into, I had never heard bluegrass in my life. And I learned to like it. And they learned to like me, and they bring their kids up to introduce them to me. Because my job was to keep these guys alive. I told myself that I would not play. I would shut the long wall system down. I'm the only one that ever shut the wall down. And the reason that is because the long wall makes something like every minute, maybe $3,000 or $5,000. It just mines coal like water. And my job is to go up there, and there's a lot of dust from them not using this white dust called rock dust. I'm going to shut it down. Nobody ever did that, but I did. I had to. And the fact that I would do that, or they come to me with little problems, and I'd be one of the only ones to go check it out. There was this love to build for me, but yet, they don't like black people. And culturally, see, I was raised not to like white people. So culturally, we had this division until we came to mining. And then when we got to mining, we started learning that of all of our differences that we were taught, we're all still brothers and sisters. And this environment of trying to stay alive every day, this is something I used to read all the time. Look well to this one day, for it alone is life. In the brief course of this one day lies all the varieties and realities of your existence, the pride of growth, the glory of action, the splendor of beauty. Yesterday is only a dream, and tomorrow is but a vision. Yet each day, well lived, makes every yesterday a dream of happiness, and each tomorrow a vision of hope. Look well, therefore, to this one day, for it alone is life. All the foolishness my father taught me about white people, all the foolishness they were taught about black people, didn't matter. This day alone, this moment that we're here right now, is all that really matters, and everything else was some sort of lesson. Let's see, I wrote a poem, and I've been trying to get this poem right. I'm trying to do it for Shabazz. See if I can do this. It's called Too Black. They take my kindness for weakness, my silence for speechless. They consider my uniqueness strange. They call my language slang. They see my confidence as conceit. They see my mistakes as defeat. They consider my success accidental. They minimize my intelligence to potential. My questions mean I'm unaware. My advancement is somehow unfair. Any praise is preferential treatment. To voice concern is discontent. If I stand up for myself, I'm too defensive. And if I don't trust them, I'm apprehensive. I'm deviant. If I separate, yes, I'm fake if I assimilate. My character is constantly under attack. And pride for my race makes me too black. I'm open for questions. Anything about coal industry? About the culture?
Well, I got a question for you. How did African Americans first get introduced to the coal mines here in West Virginia?
Well, I actually know you know the answer to that, but you start the conversation. We were brought in primarily to scabs. And you will watch one of my heroes is a white guy. His name was Sid Hatfield.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay, that's one of my heroes. I know you've probably seen it in the Make One movie.
Oh, yeah.
I've always loved Sid. I just like strong people like Sid. I was raised by coal miners. My father died when I was young. I was introduced to the coal mine when I was young. I'm just all coal, and Sid Hatfield was my hero. And black people were brought into the coal fields in West Virginia primarily as scabs to break the unions. And then because they were so ignorant, they didn't have any idea about the union, and they didn't know what they were doing. They just needed work, and they brought them in from Alabama primarily. And that really answers your question. But then, the same thing I learned dealing with these guys in Federal 2 is after a while, we're all just brothers, and conditions of trying to survive down here, you start overlooking the pigmentation of your skin because you're trying to come out here alive every day. So,
Now you have comrades.
Got a question about the union itself. I've done a lot of studying with black communist workers in the 1930s and 40s unions.
Okay.
And one of the things I learned is that the unions failed to capitalize on the strength of numbers, bringing blacks into the union. Is effectively, how was your experience what you.
I